I'm sorry, what are you laughing? Usman, a moment for you that you must occasionally look down and think, this looks unusual, but it looks good. Teal in the Brisbane Heat, something that maybe not on your radar a few months ago.
No, look, I didn't think. I'd always thought I'd finish off at Thunder. I'd be there, I guess, till the end. It's funny how things change, and not gonna lie, I love the teal. I love the colour. I think it goes well with my olive skin, so I'm looking forward to it. It's home. I've said it for a long time. Brisbane's home for me. Queensland's home. So to be back here, play for Queensland, obviously already captaining Queensland, I'm just really excited. I am, because it's going to feel like I'm playing in front of my family definitely, and then a home crowd, which I haven't got to do before for a long time. Which I love the Thunder and I love the Thunder Nation out there, but at the same time, just it's a nice change. I think at the right time.
Yeah, we time to talk off camera. Lived in Pakistan, lived in Sydney, lived in Brisbane. You've got pretty good deep ties to everywhere you go, sort of thing. You're not a person who moves a lot, so it makes sense in the sense to sort of complete it almost to play BBL with the Heat, and then you'll have to play for a couple of years and enjoy all that has to offer.
Yeah, look, it wasn't an easy decision at all. I've been foundation player for the Sydney Thunder right from the very start, so the decision was a very tough one. But as I said, it just felt like the right time. I've had a lot of ties with Queensland cricket in general, obviously being here for a long time. I used to be an honorary Queensland, now I just am a Queenslander. So it all just fit. The opportunity presented itself, and the stars aligned. And sometimes, they're the tough decisions, but they're always the ones you look back on and usually thinking, I'm glad I made it.
And from your own perspective, it wasn't something you were sort of rushed into or forced into. You actually had time to think, reflect, work out what your options were, what you wanted to do. So it wasn't like something that you made a decision based head in heart this time, probably.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into it, and I'm not going to lie. Obviously, family plays a big part. I have two young daughters, my wife Rachel, all here in Queensland. Cricket, I've been travelling for a long time now. I've been playing professional cricket for 15 years. So time at home, time with the family is a big one. But including that, I think the Brisbane Heat from afar have always seemed like a really great organisation. I've obviously been loosely tied with them through Queensland cricket, and then lastly, obviously, it is my home. I don't see myself going anywhere anytime soon. This is home. This is where my heart is. This is where I expect to be here for a very long time. So it almost made sense to come back. I have a lot of emotional connection here too, as I did with Thunder. I'm just looking forward to the challenge and looking forward to something new and looking forward to being at home.
With your cricket, I know you love to follow other sports and stuff. It's quite a cool phenomenon to see the players and athletes that sort of almost get their second or third win, don't they? And surge again. And your career in the last 12 to 18 months is a great example of surging, and going well. Are you really, really finding that things are just the balance is right, that what you want to do is there, your skills are there, it's all fitting nicely for you?
Look, I feel like I've been playing really good cricket consistent cricket for the last 10 years. I got dropped from the Australian team. I probably had a few months where I wasn't scoring runs, maybe 5 to 6 months. Feels like a long time at the time, but take those 5 or 6 months out, I came back to Shield cricket, scored a lot of runs over the last 2 years. For Queensland, went over to the PSL, scored a lot of runs over there when I got my opportunity. So I feel like I've been playing really good cricket for a long time still. So I don't really feel like it's a second or third win. Yeah, I got picked in Australia, and that's more to do with timing, I guess, luck, all those sorts of things, as to when and if you get picked. You can be scoring a truckload of runs, but if there's no spot for you to go into the Australian team, then you don't get picked. It's just that simple. So there's a lot of things involved in it. So it's nice. I was quite content. 44 Test matches. That's 44 than a lot more other people will get to play. I was really grateful for it, and then to get back and play more, it was amazing. But I still love the BBL. I love getting back out in the BBL. So whether I'm playing for Australia, whether or not, it's something I look forward to. And obviously being with the Heat for the coming years, I'm very excited.
On the BBL front, look, it's obviously playing for Australia is one of the I guess the downsides is that you potentially don't have as much time to play for your other state team, so to speak. But the way it's looking this summer, it appears as if there's going to be some good windows for some good games, and also going forward, again, looks like there's going to be windows for those Australian players. So you're going to get the best of both worlds with any luck going forward.
Yeah, and that's been the case in the past too. It's just the last few years with COVID, which has ruined that a little bit. The bubbles and not being in and out and all these things have just made it that much longer, that much harder. Now that we're most likely looking at coming out of bubbles and just being business as usual, you'll see a lot more players playing the BBL and coming back in the tournament, whether they're playing for Australia or not. So fingers crossed, get to play, a lot more games than I did last year, and I think I will by how the schedule's looking. I think as the BBL, as the tournament progresses on, you'll be seeing a lot more international players playing, whether they're playing or not. But any opportunity, I'm ready, I'm fit and able, I'll definitely be out there playing for the Heat.
Talking about Queensland and how you've been here and the honorary Queensland to the Queenslander, looking at the squad that sort of you're going to see now a lot of the time for the Queensland Bulls, and then a number of them will be with the Heat. Are you feeling good about how the depth and how the Queensland future looks overall in all the formats?
Yeah, Queensland always has good depth. I think that's the beauty of Queensland. We're a place where sport is number one. We've got a lot of good young players coming up through the ranks. We've got a lot of good players right now that are either playing the Australian team or knocking on the door of Australia too. So they're always good signs for the state. Obviously in BBL and everything that goes, it filters from the state organisation. I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think the growth of the Brisbane Heat, there's still a little bit of development to do there, just in players in general. I think there's still a few nuances that the Brisbane Heat probably still need to work out in terms of overseas players and what may happen there. But the crux of it, the foundations are really good. And there's guys that I've played with a lot throughout the years, young guys who've come through the ranks, a few older heads, a few guys that come back like Michael Niza, someone like Mish Swepson has been there for a long time, and Jimmy Pearson, obviously, a bundle of wealth and knowledge from how long he's been in the system for. So the basis is there. It's just about doing those little bits and pieces to just try and figure out how we can be 1, 2, 3, 5%, 10% better.
Well, let me do the question of the article, I suppose, is probably the view or the perceptions that Heat have underachieved in the last few years, or probably across the duration of the BBL, since they've been good, entertaining, winning teams, but also not potentially championship teams. Again, you see a lot of sport, you follow a lot of sport. What do you need to flick the switch to make a good, entertaining, winning team a championship team?
It's a great question. Look, I'm not here to come and reinvent the wheel. I love Queensland cricket. I love Brisbane. I'm here to give my 100%. The sort of knowledge I've accumulated over time in terms of both on and off the field, and hopefully my performances too. Contributing on the field. I think moving forward, I don't really see, it's not like Uzi's going to come in and tell me we're going to come around and win a championship next year. I'm not about that. I'm about the process. I'm going to try to do my best with the coaching staff, admin, with the players to try and get the processes right. And if we can hopefully do that well enough for long enough and keep doing it and learning, then we'll give ourselves an ability and chance to win championships further down the track, whenever that be. Whether it's this year, next year, whenever. I'm very process driven. That's going to be what I try to do and instill in the team. And hopefully, if we do that well enough, the result will take care after itself. And that's probably my biggest thing I want to pass on to the players from myself.
Two more questions. One of them just revolves around the Gabba. Playing at the Gabba, great venue for batsmen in particular, and certainly the BBL seems to have demonstrated that it's a great place to score runs. It'll be your home track. What do you think about it? Is it something that you think is both a strength? Is it a strength of the Heats, or is it an area that they need to be ready to contend with? Almost not a weakness, but an area they need to be right on the game to take advantage of it. What's your take on the Gabba?
The Gabba predominantly over the past years has been very good. The last couple of years it's been a bit hit and miss in terms of runs that have been scored there and games that have played there. So it's been a little bit different the last couple of years. But traditionally, Gabba white ball wicket's been the best in the country. I think one place where Heat's lacked over the last few years has been batting, but it's hard for me to comment on that too much because I haven't been around and I haven't really delved into it too much with the players and whatnot. But there's definitely room for improvement. At the end of the day, you're trying to learn from this game and trying to improve, and hopefully you can see those results further down the track. That's the most important thing. So Yeah, I think the Heat in itself, the organisation and the team, they possibly have underachieved over the last few years, but at the end of the day, as I said earlier, the process, we can only control what we can control. So if the guys are doing that well enough, hopefully we can see the improvements, and yeah, you can see it on the paddock and we can win a few more games.
Last question, just to throw it forward, just on the international front, Sri Lanka, a tour, a great place to play cricket, a very an enjoyable place to play cricket for those, but also a challenging place to play cricket. What's going to be the thing you're looking forward to most about getting across to Australia to play Sri Lanka?
There's these things you get in breakfast called hoppers. They're amazing. They got like egg hoppers. They put an egg in there, and that's probably what I'm looking forward to the most. Or the koti roti. So, no, I like Sri Lanka. It's a really cool place. We get to play in Galle. It's probably Galle and Kandy are my two favourite places over there, and Galle's beautiful water. Pretty sure the coast is not too far from the Maldives there either. So, Sri Lanka, yeah, the guys are looking forward to it. Galle generally, I've played there twice. It's a raging turner, so I expect there to be nothing different. 2 test matches there, expect to face a lot of spin. I expect us to be bowling a lot of spin, so it's going to be nice. It's going to be very different. Looking forward to the challenge.
Right.
No worries. Too easy.